Hi guys, this is Shikha and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk all about my favorite book. So personally, I love to read, and if you are over my Instagram, you probably know this because I have talked about the books here and there, but I really wanted to do a dedicated video about that. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so the first book I want to talk about is this You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. And this is a really nice book, and I would say this is a really good introduction to self-development. So if you are somebody new to self-development, I would highly recommend you guys to start with this one to learn how to cultivate more self-love, self-awareness, and even more self-acceptance. In this book, the author also talks about a little bit of law of attraction, and she also mentions how to use law of attraction into your life and make your life better. The author is really funny, and I found myself laughing a lot of times while going through this book because she explains everything in a very lightweight and funny way, and it really feels like you're having a nice deep conversation with your friend, your mentor, or somebody you look up to. She also covers about belief system, specifically the negative belief system which is spinning around our head, and we take a lot of action according to the belief system which is already ingrained in our brain. She talks about finding on how to become aware of those negative belief system. So once you become aware, you can definitely change them. That's what she talks about, like first become aware of those negative self-talk and then change it with something positive so that it can help in improving your life in a really nice way. And the next book I want to talk about is this one, which is Anything You Want, and this one is from Derek Sivers. And this is a very tiny book and a very simple read. I finished this one in an hour, and this says 40 lessons for a new kind of entrepreneur. But I believe even if you are not an entrepreneur, you can definitely gain a lot of lessons from this book. This is really nice. So basically, the author Derek Sivers opened a company known as CD Baby, grew it and had millions and millions in revenue, and then sold that company for 20 million and then donated the amount to charitable trust. But yeah, anyway, so he talks about lots of lessons about the process and how he grew his business, and I believe you can gain a lot of life lessons from this book. And I found his approach about business and life to be very counterintuitive because he talks about focusing on the process rather than chasing growth all the time. So he says that, like, whatever work you do, anything you do in life, just focus on the process rather than chasing the growth or chasing the output or focusing on the result most of the time. He says that focusing on, or paying full attention to the process will definitely lead you to the end result. So yeah, highly recommend this one. Very easy read, and it's a very tiny book. So yeah, you can finish this in an hour. And another book I want to talk about is this one, which is The Magic of Thinking Big. And this one is from David J. Schwartz. And it's also a really great personal development book. And this goes really deep into your mind. I mean, the belief system, and starts to rewire your belief system into a very empowering perspective. So according to this book, if you believe that you can do something, your brain will find ways to prove you that you can do something, and vice versa is also correct. And I really like this book because this one also talks about building confidence, about fear. So he says that fear is something which is very natural, and confidence is something which you practice. Nobody is born with confidence, so it's definitely something which comes with the practice. The author suggests that if you want to do something, start with a mindset that you can achieve it no matter what. Like, come what may, I'm going to do it. You want to have that belief system and start the work. He also talks about different strategies to improve your self-belief and improve your confidence. And he also suggests 3 ways. First is always be open to new ideas. Second is learn something new every day. Third thing is asking yourself a question: how can I do a better job today, every day? So yeah, this is really popular, and if you are into self-development space, you must be knowing this one. Yeah, highly recommend this one. Now, if you are into personal development space, you must be definitely aware of Anthony Robbins, and the next book is from him, and the book is Awaken the Giant Within: How to Take Immediate Control of Your Mental, Emotional, Physical, and Financial Destiny. And this is hands down one of the best books I have ever came across, and this is not very tiny. It definitely definitely takes time to read, but it is totally worth it. So basically, Anthony Robbins in this book talks about 3 main lessons: associating the bad habits with pain and good habits with pleasure, changing the word you use to transform basically how you feel and deal with the problems, and the third one is making up your own rules and communicating them to become more happier. This book also talks about changing your negative beliefs, becoming aware and rewriting them to empower yourself. And this book also has a very interesting chapter which is in the page number 216, and here he talks about different kind of vocabulary, the words which we use in day-to-day life, and he says to transform those words to this one. So for example, if we say like I'm feeling anxious, then he said transform it into I am feeling a little concerned. So yeah, this is how he talks about a lot of words. Some more examples are like lonely to available, lazy to storing energy, jealous to over loving, irritated to stimulated, and I hate to I prefer. I believe changing vocabulary really makes a difference in how you feel, like the intensity of some things becomes less. So yeah, I highly recommend to go through this page, which is 216 217 and it's up to 218. So there are so many words over here. I'll try and insert a clip. And in this book he also talks about the ultimate success formula, which is first to decide what you want to do, second take action, third notice what's working or not, number 4 is changing your approach until you achieve what you want. And I believe this is so powerful because in daily life we try something and we fail, and then we feel like, okay, this is not for me, I can't do it. We don't generally focus on changing our approach. So personally this really puts thing into perspective for me. And in this book he also covers a little bit about NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, to change the neuro-associative conditioning. And the last book I want to talk about is this one, which is Autobiography of a Yogi, and this one is by Paramhansha Yogananda. And if you are somebody who is interested into spirituality, I highly recommend this book. So in this book there are a lot of interesting stories of Paramhansa Yogananda childhood, and his childhood name was Mukunda. The stories are so interesting and full of life lessons. So this book basically tears apart your belief system about what basically the reality is, of course in a good way. So it says that the reality is much more than what we see, meaning much more than the 3D reality. It says that reality is a cosmic dream of divine, and where we all are having our own individual experiences. And the more we become aware of this, the more we'll be able to tap into the truth of actually who we are. It covers a lot of stories about his childhood, how he met his different gurus, and the different lot of interesting stories, like so many interesting stories. I really enjoyed reading this book. And this book is really deep, and every time I read it I find something new. So yeah, if you are interested in spirituality, I would highly recommend you guys to check this book out. And there is of course a lot of books which have impacted my life in a positive way, but I don't wanted to talk about every book in this video and overwhelm this video. I would be definitely doing a part 2 of this video in next coming months if you guys are interested. And let me know if you read any of these books in the comment section down below. And let me know some of your favorites, because I'm always looking for something new. And I get most of my books from Amazon or Abe Books. It's abe.com, and there you can find pre-owned books, and the books are really cheap. So I definitely recommend you guys to try that website out. I'll have the link of the website and all the books I mentioned in the description box down below. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Till then, bye.